Hey guys, it's Alam. Today's video I'm going to be showing you guys a couple rather interesting artifacts I found within the corner farlands. So I'm going to be starting today's video with the corner farlands on a rather famous Minecraft beta seed, which I will show you guys a little bit later on in the video. So you will see that the corner farlands and the seed look fairly normal, except for one thing: the plateaus on this side of the diagonal line look much blockier than normal, with a lot of 4x4 squares generating. And that's not all. If I type in tally 29,145,800, 29 million, and the same number again, you guys will see that the plateaus on this side of the diagonal line are gone. And if I turn around, you will actually see a very weird diagonal artifact where the plateaus just drop off into a flat land. And note that this diagonal line actually runs perpendicular to all of the normal diagonal lines in the corner farlands. And why does my game lag a little bit more when I'm recording? I don't know. But this artifact right here is actually very similar to the drop-off of the corner farver lands seen in the Forge mod on 1.12.2. So this might actually give us a clue as to the nature of the farver lands. So if we actually use the multipliers, set both of the multipliers very high, then on this seed, then you will actually see that this takes the form of a mathematical curve. And as you go further along the z-axis, you'll gradually get closer to 25 million on the x-axis approximately, which is actually where the second octave of low and high noise will overflow. Or at least the second highest octave, actually. So let's head to the middle here. So you will recognize this as the Gargamel seed, the other famous seed from this era of Minecraft, with a G. So if I open up a world, Gargamel multiplier is set to 1000. There. You will see that as we move along here, the mathematical curve will gradually get closer to 25 million on the x-axis. Of course, it does take a while for that to happen. And yeah, the multipliers in this world are actually too low to really see it. I can only set them to 1000 in this world. Thought I made a world with both the multipliers set to 100,000. I didn't see it right away. I didn't see it. So yeah. Maybe there. Or there it is. Alright. So you guys will see that I have gone pretty far along the mathematical curve of the drop-off in this seed. And it does graduate, and the x-axis is equivalent to about 25 million on a regular world at this point. So here's another thing that I found. So in the other seed, in the second seed that I showed in Friday's video, I noticed that the tops of the terrain in the edge farverlands at their final state, like at 1 trillion in the z-axis and 1.04 billion in the x-axis, were higher than the tops of the terrain at 12,500,824 on the x-axis and 1.04 billion on the z-axis. And you will see that there is actually a point where the terrain does jump up, despite there being no solid land at y equals 120 exactly, around the 12,500,824 on the x-axis and 1.04 billion in the z area in this seed, because normally the edge farverlands would correspond directly to the corner farlands to the extent off from, or at least the area of the corner farlands with the same ratio of the of the amount of blocks past 12,500,824 on the z-axis to the x-axis. However, the terrain just jumps up for no apparent reason eventually in this speed eventually. So this is likely another artifact caused by the second octave overflowing. So you'll see that around 88 million on the x-axis and about 121 billion, around 121.9 billion on the z-axis. You see the beginning of a very large, very stretched out, sort of parabolic curve where the terrain jumps up. And it doesn't reach 1.04 billion on the x-axis until about 684 billion on the z-axis. So basically what it is that for low and high noise there is 16 layers known as octaves that are added onto each other. And the lowest one only increases by 0.02, so only increases by about 0.02 every sampling, every 4-block sampling. Actually, more precise, about 0.020886 every block. So each additional octave goes up by twice as much every block as the one below it. And in the normal terrain, it's actually the lowest octave. It's actually the lowest octave that has the most effect, and the highest octave has the least effect. But once the highest octave overflows, its values dwarf all other terms. So that's what becomes a neat. So this actually explains why the normal Minecraft terrain is very smooth for something that would go up, much smoother than you expect for something that would go up, that goes up by 684.42 every 4-block sampling, which would cause the integer part, modulo 256, to change every sampling point. But however, if certain values are small enough, however, if certain values of the first octave after overflowing are small enough, or really close enough to 0, then if the second octave overflows, then it will bump the value, then it may be just enough to bump the value below 0 or above 0. There's a creepy cave noise. 0, as in the case of the Gargamel seed that I showed earlier. So yeah, guys, that's about all I got for today. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell and click on all for notifications. And I'll see you guys in the next video.